Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
And Joy Nightingale.
And today we have landed right here in the Hudson Valley, Catskill region of New York. Now, we have something special planned for you today. Today we are actually going to share with you the filming locations of the 2019 movie, The Dead Don't Die. Now, if you're not familiar with this movie, it was made by Jim Jarmusch. He wrote, directed it. A crazy cast. Amazing A-list celebrities, tons of musicians. It's a zombie movie. Yeah, you can say it's a horror movie. It's more like a dark comedy in a way.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Premise of it is because of polar fracking, the Earth is knocked off the axis and changes sunlight. Animals go missing. Zombies start coming to life. It is hysterical. Dry humor, but genius. It stars Bill Murray as Chief Cliff Robertson, Adam Driver as Officer Ronnie, Chloe Savini as Officer Mindy. Now, they're the three police officers in this little small town known as Centerville, Pennsylvania. Yes, it is supposedly Pennsylvania. A little bit throwback to Romero being in Pennsylvania. And they're the police officers handling when things go wrong. Behind us, you see a diner. This is the first location we will be covering today. We will be showing you lots of different locations. Like I said, they are spread out all over. Hopefully you like this kind of thing. If you do, we always appreciate if you like the video. And if you haven't already discovered, we are a full channel. We have over 500 videos. So if you decide to subscribe to the channel, we don't mind. We actually greatly appreciate it. Comment down below, is there any New York-based movies that we should do filming locations for? We usually dabble with roadside attractions, weirdness, quirky stuff, but this was a movie that we loved. Probably one of my 3 favorite zombie films. I would say this, Zombieland, and Night of the Living Dead would be my 3 favorite zombie films. It's funny, 2 of them have Bill Murray in it. But we always appreciate all that stuff. And we're about to do this, so step right up. Let's go for this ride. So here we have West Tagnic Diner here in the town of Ankrum. Now, you might have seen the movie and said, hey, Joe, that front of that diner, that doesn't look right. Well, you'll be correct. They didn't use the front of the diner. This was actually used for the interiors. We have scenes where people like Steve Buscemi playing Farber Frank Miller and Danny Glover playing Hank were getting their morning breakfast. And this is the diner where the very first zombie attacks happen. Iggy Pop, yes, Iggy Pop plays male coffee zombie. And Saga Driver plays female coffee zombie. Now, the cool thing about this movie is when the zombies come to life, they sort of just talk. Not really talk, repeat words of what they remembered from being alive. And they were like, coffee, coffee. And they were the first 2 zombies that when they came in here, they attacked and killed Vernon Lilly, the first 2 victims. Sadly, the diner is closed. If we look carefully on the floor, we could sort of make out the diamond pattern. You see a little blue diamond, some blue tiles. We're gonna show you right now the scene in the movie, and you could see that diamond pattern on the floor showing it is this diner. We're just trying to peek through all the windows. Do you see this? You see that diamond pattern going down the center floor? Right now we're standing at the window behind where Iggy Pop would be attacking the victim. Obviously the curtains have changed. Still the same stools we can see. Same flooring. I'm glad we got here when they are. This diner is closed at the moment for remodeling, renovations. So I'm glad we got to see it before they changed inside here. We can see the counter and the register area where the waitress was closing out before Iggy Pop walked into the restaurant. Coffee, coffee. And as we're filming this, we are not showing this in chronological order. We're going to show you as many locations we have found. We found
different towns.
About 95% of the locations, I would say. There's one I can't find. We'll cover that later. But we're going to show you everything. Cemeteries, police stations, funeral homes, motels. We got it all for you today. We're just doing it in the order of driving. Like I said, this is spread out all over the spot. This was the interiors of the diner, which wasn't the first scene, but it was seen throughout the movie. We just made our way 8 miles south on the Taconic Parkway to Elizaville, to the Elizaville Diner. This was used as the exteriors of the diner scenes. Now we're going to line up some shots. This would have been after Danny Glover's character, Hank, discovers the first victims. He calls the police. Bill Murray first shows up, then Adam Driver, then Chloe shows up last, and we'll go over some of the scenes. Now, just so you know, when we show you these things, there are some good twists, there are some good turns. We aren't going to spoil the movie with you. I will say, I don't think this is going to end well. We'll get to that later. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, we aren't going to ruin it. So after you're done watching the filming locations, if you want to watch them before the movie, you could still watch the movie, still enjoy it, and not be ruined by watching our video first. First shot we're taking a look at is Danny Glover standing in front of the diner. He just came out. He just discovered the 2 first victims of the zombies. You can see in the shot where he's standing next to the window, looking at the stairs. The diner still has the same blue color, still line up. As we stand here today, we can see the motorcycle. Now, Adam Driver's character, Officer Ronnie, when he first pulled up to the diner, Bill Murray has already got here. He parked his smart car where this motorcycle is parked today. If we look over the front of the pickup truck, we see the telephone pole that we can see in the shot with the red smart car convertible. Looking at these windows, we actually can see where Danny Glover, Bill Murray, Adam Driver were standing after discovering it. It was funny because when Bill Murray first sees the victims, comes out, Danny Glover goes, "What do you think did that? Was it a wild animal? A bunch of wild animals?" And proceeds, Adam Driver says almost the same line. Chloe says almost the same line. Once Officer Mindy came up, she saw the victims. She said about the wild animals. Then she told Chief Cliff that she could not handle this, and she wanted to not be dealing with them. So he told her to be on crowd control. And you could see her looking at the diner with just the edge in the frame, and the crowd control was just the 3 people behind. And she went, move it along. Now what you don't see is, now we're going to get in our cars to drive. We are on the east side of the Hudson River. We have to cross the Hudson to the west side to the town of Catskill for our next location. We made it to the town of Catskill to Brookside Campground. Now this would have been used as Bobby's gas and stuff in the movie. Bobby's gas was important. We have RZA working for the WUSP, RZA from the Wu-Tang. Get it? Instead of UPS, it was the WUPS. Bringing in a newspaper showing Bobby that the world is off the axis and it's the end of the world because of it. This was a very important shot because this is sort of where we're establishing Bobby was the horror fan. His gas station was horror themed, and with that he would also sort of be the one that starts talking. Later he tells Danny Glover to kill the zombies. You gotta kill the head. I'm wearing a Waldemar shirt. We ain't got no body. Gotta chop the head off. You get the point? Bobby is the one that taught that. Also, a very important scene at the gas station was Selena Gomez pulls up her Le Mans. Hers was a 68, not a 67, because they had to get gas going into town. She was in her car with the hipsters from Ohio. Now, Bobby came out and said, "Nice car," because in Romero's Night of the Living Dead, it was a 67 Le Mans, and out here, being another zombie movie, they were in a 68 Le Mans. Let's line up some shots. Looking at the building, we can see the corner of the peak of the roof coming off, the 3 poles in this shot. The poles are still the same. As we look at the shot, we see Zoe filling up the Le Mans. You see Austin Butler's back, some kids coming out.
On Columbus Day. So what was funny is when they came in and they started decorating, they saw all this weird Halloween stuff and they said, oh, we could just leave this.
You see how things stay the same. We still have the Nestle's ad and the ice cooler. You see RZA coming in with the Woo PS truck in the distance.
So Caleb was here and he was drinking a Mountain Dew. And when they were all done, they left the Mountain Dew can on the countertop. And I was like, well, I don't want to throw this out. So I actually still have that Mountain Dew can that he was using in the film.
There you
awesome.
go. Does look a lot different than done up with all the horror memorabilia when it was his gas station.
Right.
But it is cool, same entrance. And we can see exactly where Bobby was leaning against the pole as he was talking to Selena about her car. Even the phone where they have the late check-in helpline was a payphone in the movie. And this location was used again later in the film after the zombies started taking over. How I was saying the zombies, like Iggy Pop wanted coffee, the kids wanted toys, so they came to Bobby's gas and stuff. And you can see like the little kids coming in and out of the door as the zombie kids. It really is cool being here. Like, I've loved this movie since me and Joy saw it, and to be standing at the spot, and I just want to give a big shout out to the gentleman that was working. I was nervous about coming this because this one we're not standing on the road. We had to enter the campground, and I'm like, we just came in. He's like, you checking in? And we said what we were doing, and he let us come in the shop, film the locations in the shop, talk to us for a second. Just want to say thank you for that, because this is a dream come true. Cole leaning right like that with the shot. I can picture coming out, looking at all the cool horror stuff in there. Now we're standing here today. Just like the Le Mans leaving Bobby's gas, now we drive away. We're going to head right now to the town of Fleshman's, which is in the heart of the Catskill Mountains. A little bit of drive to get there. Again, I just want to say thank you to the man that was working there, Jerry. I think he was the owner. It seems like he would be the owner. And he actually, from using his campground site, became an extra and was a zombie in some of the scenes in Fleshman's. We'll show you those scenes when we get there. So we made our way to the town of Fleshman's now. In the movie, Centerville is their town, Centerville, Pennsylvania, but the town of Fleshman's really was Centerville. The 3 locations we showed were far away. Everything else they filmed pretty much was in the town of Fleshman's. In fact, the very first scene in the movie is establishing the locations. It's the cop car driving to go see Hermit Bob. Hermit Bob was played by Tom Waits. The town that says, "Welcome to Fleshman's," as we see here, it actually said Centerville. So this location was used in that original scene. The police car drove by, stuff like the cemetery, stuff like the sign. Tom Waits' character was the hermit that lived in the woods. He sort of narrated because him being off from the beaten path observed all the things happening to the town as the zombies started overtaking. But now it's time to make our way into this town and show you all the locations. Some people might say this building might look good as a school, but it also could be a detention center. Now, in the town of Fleshman's on Wagner is what was the Satmar Yeshiva camp. So a lot of people, when they are writing where locations are in the movie, they always put the Centerville Juvenile Detention Center in the town over Margaretville. Now, I don't know if people are doing that because maybe the interiors were filmed, but the exterior for the juvenile detention is clearly the Satmar Yeshiva camp. Now we're gonna line up a shot. We see the building as it sits now with the posted signs, private property. But notice the architecture, notice the filigree above the center window, notice the gate, notice the tree on the left. We can clearly see this was the Centerville Juvenile Detention Center. Joy's documenting the Juvenile Detention Center. And this literally is right as we're going into town from where the sign was. Little road to the left, sitting right here at 993 Main Street here in Fleshman's. What is just a plain house was the Ever After Funeral Home. Actress Tilda Swinton played Zelda Winston. We'll just say, we don't want to spoil, they said she was from Scotland. She had a dojo in there, did weird makeup on some of the victims, and was my favorite fact about her is when she would talk to the officers, she would use their full names. But we could see the shot of when she was walking out of the funeral home. We don't have a screen grab, but she walks by this white bicycle in the shot. I thought that would have just been a thing that the set put here. I wasn't expecting it actually still to be here 5 years after the movie came out, but the white bike is still here against the fence in front of what was the funeral home. And from the funeral home, if we look down the road of Main Street, we're actually going to come to all the other locations. We're going to come to the police station, the hardware store, the pharmacy, the motel. Just one little town, one little road. What's that I see? 1053 Main Street? Looks like an art gallery now, but this was the police station. Some of the best scenes in the movie were filmed here. If we look, it says 1053, but now when we look at the screen grab, it does have different doors, but the windows match up. The pattern in the bricks match up under the windows. You see how the lower ones are facing up, then they go sideways. It matches the screen grab. My favorite zombie was right in here. Carol Kane played Mallory O'Brien. She was dead and had to be there till they could come pick her up. And when she became a zombie, she would go, Chardonnay, Chardonnay. And then Adam Driver chopped off her head. Because you gotta kill the head. Fascinates me how a little town could just be transformed into a movie set. Because we're not in Hollywood, we're just in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountains. And that was a police station. Just think Bill Murray walked out of those doors. Taking a different angle at the police station. We can see in this window all three police officers looking out as the zombies started overtaking the town. Only shot for a few seconds when all the zombies started going into the different businesses. This was their pharmacy. Now it is a pizza parlor here at 1109 Main Street. The reason we could tell is if we look at the two corners of the building where it's all black now, in the shot we can see it is blue with a white stripe in the center. Also notice the way it's like a ramp up to the front door, but on each side it is a step, and above the door the white panels going up and down. That's what gave away that this was the pharmacy. It does look a little different because of the paint job it has got. This is a little bit closer to the angle of the shot. Here you can see how the wall on the far right curves at an angle up to the roof peak, just like in the screen grab. Say the pizza parlor is permanently closed.
Like it's not even a pizza parlor anymore.
Which is a shame, because I could go for a nice slice of pizza right now. Maybe one day it'll be a pizza parlor again. It'll rise from the dead. Do you like reanimated pizza? I like all pizza. Now is Doolittle's Coffee, Grocery, and Goods, Doolittle's camp store. This shot, minus the car, was actually used as the hardware store in the movie. This is where Caleb and Danny Glover were holding up, arming themselves for a war against zombies. Caleb was teaching Danny Glover that you have to kill the head. It was very important in this movie. And one of the zombies actually in the scene is when we were just at the campground, we were talking to the guy Jerry. Jerry was a zombie that broke into this hardware store in the movie. He was an extra actually here. That hardware store looks a lot different with those fun umbrellas out. That is a really cool store. We actually went in and got a Halloween witch to decorate for Halloween. Yeah, so if you come check out the locations of The Dead Don't Die, I would recommend going there, get a nice cup of coffee, peruse the merchandise. It's a cool store. Last location in town is the Delaware Court Motel right here on Main Street. In the movie, it was the Moonlight Motel. Larry Fessenden was the hotel owner. One of the significant things when the world was changing because of the polar fracking axis off is the animals went missing. Larry Fessenden, his cats were missing. He wanted to know where his cats went. We actually could see a shot where it has the sign on top, Moonlight Motel. Larry Fessenden talking to Adam Driver, Bill Murray, as Selena Gomez is walking to the office. She drove her Le Mans here with her two friends, the hipsters from Ohio. They were checking in to the motel. You could actually see her with her car going into room number 22. You could tell by the bushes have changed a little, but the fire extinguisher right next to the entrance of that room still could be seen in the screenshot. Another shot late at night, we can see Larry Fessenden, where I'm gonna give you one spoiler right now. Larry Fessenden met his final demise right there. Like I said, the zombies always said what they were looking for, and one said, "Free cable," and Larry Fessenden went to turn around and say, "Yes, we have it," and that's all she wrote. And while we stand in front of what was the motel that Larry Fessenden worked at, I figured, why not share a fun story of how Joe Lunchbox trapped Larry Fessenden? You might be saying, what do you mean? Does this have to do with the movie? No, it has nothing to do with the movie, but it's a good story, and I wanted to share it with you. You see, my coworker Rob, you met him on some adventures going pumpkin picking once, loves horror movies, and we used to work at a tattoo and piercing shop in New York City together. And one day, getting off the subway, he's like, wait, that's Larry Fessenden. And he told me all about Larry Fessenden. It was before I saw this movie, before I knew all of Larry Fessenden's body of work. Trust me, Rob showed me a lot of it. And we realized Larry Fessenden would walk by our shop. And Rob was fanboying out, had to meet Larry Fessenden. We didn't know how to meet him. So Rob took a record, like a story on record called Hole Digging that Larry Fessenden made, and one of his DVDs. And our store was a little weird. The owner wanted to also sell clothing, so we had a mannequin in the front window. And we figured, you know what? We could just put that record in the mannequin's hands. And if Larry ever comes by, he's going to be like, what? Why is my record in the mannequin's hands? And that's exactly what happened. Because one day, Larry Fessenden walked by the shop, pointed the record, and I was like, come in. And he came in the shop. Rob was in the back, indisposed, and I ran. I'm like, Rob, you have to come in front. He goes, tell the client in 5 minutes. I'm like, it's Larry Fessenden. He's like, oh, something. You get what I'm saying. And he ran excited, fanboying out, got a Sharpie, grabbed his stuff, and he got to meet Larry Fessenden. And here we have the photo I took that day of Rob meeting Larry Fessenden. Now, Rob got to meet Larry once, but he was like, it would be cool if we see him again. So when Larry said bye that night, he goes, you guys set a good trap for me. Next time it has to be even more elaborate. So we figured, what could we do? So we went and we got a small animal trap, like a mini bear trap. And I might have finagled the trap so we knew it was safe if kids came in. We set it in front window, put some candy in it with a sign that pointed to it, said, hey Larry, it's a trap literally. And then Larry saw that a few weeks later and came in and said hi to us again. But that's the story of how I trapped Larry Fessenden. And this the motel that he managed in The Dead Don't Die. Pretty cool standing in this location. We're gonna make our way back to the car. The only location we have left to share with you today is the cemetery. Mm-hmm. We can't find Farmer Frank's farm. That's Steve Buscemi's character, which makes me really sad because Steve Buscemi is from my hometown. And the one location I wanted to find was Steve Buscemi's farm in this movie. But we covered every other filming location that was in this movie. If you out there know where Steve Buscemi's farm was, let us know so I can come see it, because it's the only thing. Then we would have completed all the filming locations. think we did pretty good. It is our first, like, trying to do all the filming locations for a movie. Hopefully you like it, because we're thinking about doing more of these. It's fun.
Hunting.
Yeah. Hunting, researching. You don't know how hard it was just driving through, doing screen grabs, then looking at all the buildings, knowing that it was filmed in this town, but not knowing everything. Trying to find stuff like that pharmacy, finding that juvenile detention center. I looked at every school in Margaretville, because that's what people said. And I'm like, this is not there. I finally found it. Got it. Now, if you want to come, you just have to watch this video and you can go right to it.
Lucky.
We're up to the final location, which actually has the very first location as well. We figured why not start where it all began and end. The church attached to the cemetery is the Cornerstone Bible Baptist Church, just outside of the main town, still on the main road of Fleshman's. Here is the cemetery where the first zombies rose, where one of the last, I want to say, battle scenes took place, and the very first shot in the movie. As I was saying, the very opening of the movie was the cops get the call that Hermit Bob was stealing Farmer Frank's chickens. And we saw the cop car drive around town past all the locations. Well, the very first shot we see of that cop car is driving right by this shot of the cemetery. As we can see, matching up the tombstones, the hill that the telephone pole is on, we can see, just like this car goes by, the cop car went right by it. If you were looking for some of the shots, if you drive down the side road into the cemetery, take the second entrance, come down, we could follow this stone wall to the tree in front of it, lining up some of the tombstones. Once they were at the diner, first saw the first victims, Bill Murray asked Adam Driver, what do you think it would be? And he goes, oh, definitely zombies. And Bill Murray was like, you think it was zombies? So they came to the cemetery to look for unearthed graves. Here we have a shot of Bill Murray and Adam Driver while they're looking for the graves. Adam Driver was asking Bill Murray why they used to separate the kids from the parents, looking at the small tombstones. Those small tombstones and the little gate, you can see, were placed here with just some set dressing, but we can match up some of the tombstones in the background. So like I was saying, Iggy Pop was the first zombie that we really see. Right here would have been the unearthed grave. So this would have been the first grave that he discovered that looked like the body came out. All we saw was the dirt, fell into it. Adam Driver says, again, I don't think this is going to end well. That's been a running line throughout the movie. I couldn't give away the whole movie, but they break the fourth wall. Finally, Bill Murray goes, why? Why do you? It's not going to end well. And he goes, well, because I read this. Jim let me read the script. Jim was the writer and director. Bill Murray's like, wait, you mean he let you read the whole script? I only got to read our scenes. Breaking that whole wall. He knows how it ends because he read the whole movie script. I love this movie so much. The fact that we're standing where the grave was that they discovered is pretty cool. And in the end, when the cemetery was used, we could see the police car as it entered, all the zombies in the field. You can make out some of the trees in the background line up along with the ridges of the mountains. So there you have it. The filming locations of The Dead Don't Die. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It is great. And if you did, go watch it again. Because now you see where everything was. It's always interesting when you see what the towns really look like, what these buildings really look like. To walk around the actual cemetery and know, like, they filmed right over here blows my mind. But we saw everything there is to see. We shared it with you. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing it. I enjoyed making this video. It was a lot of fun. A fun day just driving around, looking at weird stuff, talking to some people about when filming was happening in these towns.
I think that was pretty cool, talking to the gentleman and his like inside stories was really cool.
Yeah. But I think we could call it right now.
I think so.
The filming locations for The Dead Don't Die. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels.
Good eats.
And live life. Joy, I need one thing when we drive home.
What?
Coffee.
You're not Iggy Pop.
Coffee.
Although that was great.
Coffee. We need some coffee.
You always need coffee.
Joy, so I know this is probably the thumbnail. I will just put an Iggy Pop zombie head in the shot.